Le jazz, le rythme. Et le rythme. Le jazz. Et le rythme. Il y a un rythme.
Did it like this. Did it like this.
Updating my coffee, BRB.
Did it like this. Rugged and rough. Rugged and rough. Did it like this. Rugged and rough.
All right. 20 dwarves, 20 dwarves.
Did it like this. Rugged and rough.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. The rain in Spain. Can't clear it. Let me clear my throat. Wow, hang on.
Rugged and rough.
Wait, I put extra ghee in my coffee and it's like snot. It's not milk, trust me, it's snot. All right, I guess I need to get on with it. A little better, I guess. Trying to find the music. There we go. All right. All right. So good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Let's go! All right. So anyways, please like, subscribe, comment. Today we will be using TRADARS and Trader's Way, the best combination in the entire world if you're a Forex trader. Huh? Logical, intelligent decisions and fast, affordable trade execution. Beautiful. Let's get an update on the headlines that have come out in just the last few minutes.
Hassett on CNBC. Talks for deals are ongoing. The President wants what's best for the nation.
US dollar CNH. Any decline is unlikely to break below 7.1630. UOB Group. Yen is outperforming with modest gains. Scotiabank. Pound sterling trades lower against US dollar. US UK CPI data comes into focus.
Crypto today. Bitcoin strikes fresh record highs as Ethereum XRP edge higher. US dollar yen. Further strength is not ruled out. UOB Group.
US dollar Swiss francs trades lower around 0.7965, while Swiss producer inflation declines.
Pound steady but remains vulnerable. Scotiabank. US dollar stays resilient as Trump targets more countries with tariffs. Forex Live European FX News Wrap. Dollar steadies, Bitcoin and silver rallies.
Cool, right? So what we're doing here is we're going to various websites around the world, and we're gathering information that's specifically related to currency trading and futures trading, commodities trading, that kind of thing. Just the right news for you and nothing else. And the idea is that you just let this run in the background like a squawk box while you're trading. So you never take your eyes off the charts, but you are constantly updated as news is happening. So this Hassett on CNBC, this came out 3 minutes ago. Okay, nothing on the calendar today, but both U.S. and Canadian CPI are scheduled for tomorrow, and we have that on the channel. CPI Tuesday. So if you want that, oh, wait, I don't even have, oh, here I am. Don't even have chat in front of me. Sorry, I guess I need to see the chat. Page isn't loading. There it is. All right. So if you need to turn your stuff on, that's how you do it. So half of you have not reviewed the COT report. Is there any particular reason why you would not do it? Seems a little odd that you wouldn't want to review it, but anyways. Came out on Tuesday, for crying out loud. All right, so that's that. What are the big news headlines of the week? Remember, what TRADARS is trying to do is improve your noise to action ratio. You want less noise, and you want to know what to focus on. So having just kind of burned through the last couple of days on the calendar here, or the next couple of days on the calendar, well, really, you don't, I mean, the calendar is important, but should you trade PPI? We have PPI this week, right? Yeah. Should you trade it? Yeah. What about CPI? That's way more important, right? No, actually, it's not. So you have to know this stuff quantitatively. So CPI is not worth your time, but the Canadian interest rate decision, that'll do it. Or did I say interest rate? Sorry, inflation. Okay, so Canadian CPI, which is the same as US CPI, by the way. But can you trade PPI? Yeah, but only under these conditions, and they're only scalps. What about the Canadian one? Way more opportunities, but they're only scalps. Okay, so anyways, you can do this whenever you want, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yes, we got quite a bit of news. Now, what's not on the calendar, because these are scheduled economic releases. What's not scheduled, really, is earnings season. So trading the stock market, both stock indices and individual stocks, are probably going to be important this week. Yeah, cool. By the way, I put up that, the question, have you reviewed the COT report? One of the reasons there is 62% of you now have said you've reviewed it, probably reviewed it with me, or reviewed it with Maida, or attended my podcast on Sunday. So you had Friday with Maida, Sunday with me, Monday morning with me, and you would have reviewed this. So now you know the capital stock and capital flow of hedge funds and large institutional investors. And so for the 36% that said no, they haven't done it, I want, there's a bit of a public shame here. So thank you for being honest. But for those that didn't even vote, maybe you didn't vote out of personal shame. That's great. That's why I'm doing it. Your comrades, your fellow traders, your friends here at Forex.Today, they've done their work. They had 3 opportunities to do their homework, and they did it. They are being more competitive than you. And this is a full contact competition sport, isn't it? So if you're being left behind in the dust, well, it's your own dang fault. Of course, you can do it whenever you want with TRADARS, but you had 3 opportunities to do that with a friend. And that's why you need TRADARS, huh? Yeah. And so more than 2/3 have done it. 1/3 have not. Uh-huh. All right. What's going on in the world? I'm just looking at what's moving. Swissy seems to be moving. Yeah, a lot of Swissy pairs. Pound and yeah. Cool. Volatility. I'm just going to quickly take a look at a bunch of charts just to see. Really, in this case, I'm not analyzing the implied volatility. I'm actually just analyzing the price action. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Down, 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 up, sell, 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 down, 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 and then got to the implied 4-hour low. Oh, we're on top, almost above the moving average. So something has changed here. Okay, that's interesting. US dollar also looks strong on this one. Lots of volatility going on. We never breached the 4-hour implied high or the 4-hour implied low. So largely consolidating. Gold largely consolidating. Aussie, yeah, not really doing much at the moment. Okay, pound Swissy, definitely money moving towards Switzerland. CAD yen, whoa. Or is that euro? I thought I clicked. All right, well, we'll go with that. Lots of, non-directional consolidation, range bound. Looks like both dollar and euro are strong. CAD yen, slight move to the upside, 4-hour low acting as support. Okay, these are prices falling, so the yield on treasuries, in this case the 10-year T-note, is rising, which is not good. Making it more expensive to do business is not good, right? Okay, up, down, down, buy, which is interesting because I think this is different from the direction of some of the other yens, but euro, especially when compared to dollar, both euro and dollar seem strong, and that shows the euro strength there against the yen. Neutral is interesting. Nazi, just looking at that time. Yeah, so it's waiting to blast off. The thing is up or down. Well, it's been bullish this week, while like the S&P 500's been bearish. So down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up. So if you were going to be a bear today, there's the 1-hour implied high and the 4-hour and daily targets. This seems to be about the time to consider it on Mondays. Okay. You see how you can go through your routine here? How quickly you can burn through hourly charts just to get a sense of what's going on. Ripple, trying to catch up with Bitcoin. ADA, trying to catch up with Bitcoin. Look at, there's a little roll reversal. 1-hour implied low going up to, not the today's high, the next 24-hour high. Richard says USDN might be a good long. True, seasonality might make you worried about yen strength, but there is an issue going on in the JGB market. Excuse me. Way too much ghee in my God. I added extra to see if that was going to be good. It's going to give me what I want. Just give me what I want. No one gets hurt. Oh. Who buys pre-owned Rolexes? Thank you, Google. Yeah, you got to be careful, right, when you're doing live streams. You imagine if it was like ladies' underwear. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, anyways, that's not too damning. I like used Rolexes with diamonds. Okay. Right? Not on the Epstein list. That's all that matters. Anyways, 2020. Look at that, huh? So what I'm talking about is just even recently. Okay, let's do I'm not getting what I want. Well, okay, let's do this then. What is this doing? Okay, this year. So this is Liberation Day where we had our flash crash? Okay. So money went into treasuries, yield fell. And now we're back to the high of the year. In fact, it looks like we're breaking. You see that? Today. That's kind of why I bring it up. So money is not flowing to Japan. And look at that, since COVID. Okay. Japan had negative interest rates, and now we're well above 1.5, which was a psychological level, and we're breaking that like right now. All right. Do you think that's important? Well, there's an election coming up. Sky Killer's like, so why is money not going there? There's an election coming up, but also fear that they have just spent too much money. Okay, so so we can go to your price forecast, and we can go check out Richard Spencer's idea. Okay, of maybe buying USD yen. Okay. Well, technically, gee whiz, sorry. I put way too much ghee in my coffee. All right. We are technically above the moving average. So this chart is bullish. And statistically, the trend is up. So, Richard, could we be going for 150? Yeah. Yeah. So, best case scenario, 150 in the next 7 days. Worst case scenario, 147. Okay. So, that could help. I think I have my COT data. Another thing we can do is we can check. So you guys, many of you said you have not done your COT work this week. 2/3 of you have. And so we can very, very quickly take a look and see, like, where did money flow this way? Oh, it flew, money moved to Switzerland. Oh, okay, you should know that. Okay, money, look at this, is moving out of Japan. Well, you didn't know that? Well, then you are not being competitive. You've had 72 hours to do this work. Okay. And so we can update this now. And you can see the market is absolutely still bearish on the US dollar, but not by much. but relatively bullish. So for the last 3 weeks, money has been moving into the United States dollar after sort of a bloodbath period starting before and really probably around the the Trump administration taking over, right? But Liberation Day, check this out. Liberation Day happened here. A week later, the market's net short the US dollar. Okay, so we're still net short. But, and that's a big but you can see less and less short, and the direction is moving this way, which means money's going back into the US dollar. Meanwhile, the market has been bullish on the Japanese yen, so now we're looking at the red line. But since around May, less and less bullish. So the idea here is, relatively speaking, okay, we bottomed out around June because this was falling, and then somewhere in June this started rising, and now the relative direction is up, which means USD JPY is up based on quantitative analysis of institutional positioning and capital flows. Oh. So even if it's non-seasonal, it is what's happening. So what are we trying to say? Talk to me, Goose. All right, here we go. Let's explain this in a different way. Okay, US dollar's moving this way. So it's bearish, but relatively bullish. And yen is bullish, but moving this way, which is relatively bearish, which means up. And 1/3 of you don't do this kind of work? You're like, what? Why? Hmm? Okay, so check this out. If we just look at this period, this updates, and since we look at this, no lower low, no lower low, no lower low, no lower low. What's going on? How do we describe what's actually happening? This is falling, and this is slightly rising. Then there was a little dipsy-do. What, this? Yeah. And then what? And now continuation. So now technically, if we go to our charts, technically, because this red line here is just the price of the USD yen, technically we've bottomed out, and maybe this is the new direction, right? And if we make a higher high, higher low, now we're doing price action, and here you could be looking for reversal patterns or bullish trending patterns. You see that? So this goes right back to Richard Spencer. He says, I think. I'm like, oh, that smells like an opinion. It'd be more like, hey, if you look at the Commitment Traders report, you see that there's a relative change going on from bearish to bullish by institutional investors. And my price projections have 149.5 as our best case scenario over the next 7 days. Okay. So July is usually a down month, followed by a little bit of up for August. So it's happening early this year, that's all. But also, this year is not a normal year, is it? No. All right, so I went way too long, YouTube. So I'm going to burn through the other charts. Okay. I forgot about the new Fast and Furious process that we do here. Sorry. Hey, man, I love this stuff. I get carried away, right? So anyways, thank you, Richard, for the comment. He said, I think, and I'm like, boom. I'm all over that. Let's talk about not what we think, but what we know. And we broke that down. So I'm going to skip the macro radar because I think I kind of already did it. What do you guys think about euro dollar? Okay, come on, be quick. All right, euro dollar. Looking at 5 time frames, looking at for 20 different potential scenarios, and there's only one. And right now, euro dollar is consolidating on an hourly chart, and there's no other opportunities on any other chart. Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, guess what? 4 days ago, you were given the heads up of an opportunity to buy Bitcoin. Okay. 116 and some change. Okay. Target 139,000. What? But there's no reliable, repeatable pattern on the smaller time frames. But you were given this heads up 4 days ago. And it looks like we're taking it from the bottom of a rising channel up here. And then maybe buy another dip and we're on our way to 150. Oh my gosh. Cool. But notice that that's the only one of 500 potential patterns. That's the only one that, right? So taking a look at the 10-year T-note, what do we see? Yields up, yields down, money in, money out. Where's the flow? Because remember, maybe there's flow from foreigners, huh? Yeah, maybe. Well, guess what? No. Triangle, which I consider neutral, but with a lean towards risk off, or I mean, not risk off, but money coming out of the treasury market, which means yields are rising, which is bad. Gold. You like gold? Now, TRADARS has gold, silver, Brent, and WTI, but we're only looking at gold. So, have you looked at 5 gold time frames on gold? Did you look for 20 patterns on each one of those? That's 100. Have you looked for those 100 scenarios? How long does it take you to go through all your gold charts looking for the most reliable, repeatable patterns? You know what? There is none. So if you spent an hour, you took too long. If you spent 5 minutes, you took too long. If you spent 1 second, there's nothing there, guys. Not on a 15-minute chart, not on a 30-minute chart, not on a 60-minute chart, not on a 4-hour chart, not on a daily chart. No uptrend, no downtrend, no sideways trend, no reversal patterns, no Gartleys, no butterflies, no bats, no badgers, no beavers, no orangutan. Total waste of your time. According to patterns, anyways, if you believe in pattern recognition. If you believe in trading patterns, like uptrends or downtrends, well, they don't exist right now on gold. S&P 500. S&P 500. What's going on? Talk to me, Goose. S&P 500 downtrend on an hour. So that is bearish. Get ready for a possible down day. And remember, today is the first day of earnings. This says more likely down than up on the hourly chart. And then on the daily chart, it's up, but with a threat. Ooh, so if we start to breach this moving average, and then the next one, breach the price action, the more and more bearish this becomes on a daily, which is kind of seasonal too. So the worry is this is the beginning of something terrible, not beautiful. Because 99% of people make money when the stock market goes up. So this is the heads up, shields up, red alert, arr, arr, dive warning. Now, I don't know if it's going to fall, but the odds, the probabilities of it beginning to fall are increasing. Now, this is bullish no matter how you look at it, but there's a threat to the bullishness. So normally you would just buy a dip. Okay? Yeah. But that's where maybe seasonality kicks in, and you can double check to see if that is likely, and we have that under the fundamental section. These are the technical patterns. Cool. Bum, 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 bum. So that's that, but I wanted to do something different today. I'm going to put it back to this. Because it's earnings season, we can go to stocks and turn on stocks. And I want to show you, we have reversal patterns and trending patterns. And we can go here. And we can look for opportunities and threats. Now, I'm not sure who's reporting this week, but just the logic of this, of the companies that are reporting this week, and maybe this week and next week, so you get a calendar somewhere for earnings season, you could only look at those. Okay? So you could go through and I'll just say companies that start with the letter A. How about that? All right. Adobe, let's say, is going to report this week. AMD is going to report. Alibaba, Amazon, Apple. All right. Let's just say they're the ones, right? And now we can see, so what's going on here? Daily, bullish with an opportunity. 4-hour, bullish with an opportunity. Adobe, whoa, completely different story. So 4 days ago, you got the heads up to start shorting this sucker because it was a down channel and price was at resistance. Sell it at 170, put your stop at 370, 371, okay? So sell at 371, put your stop at 386, and your first target, not your total target, just the next leg down, is 141, so $30 drop in this price, and it looks like we're already significantly there, huh? Where are we, 160? So we're already down, down meaning positive about $12 on selling Adobe. Interesting, right? Amazon, much different. So something definitely is going on with Adobe. But Amazon, how's Amazon doing? It's bullish. And there were two scenarios. Again, you need to know how to trade patterns. If you look in the description below the video, there's a download to the cheat sheet for these patterns. But in this case, what are the two opportunities? This is bullish, so there's no bearish opportunity at all. Okay? And so you either buy it on the moving average or you buy it on support. One's a dynamic level, okay? And one is a fixed level. That's it. Now, you could also be a clever little monkey and say, well, anywhere between the two is good. Yeah, I know, right? The thing is, and TRADARS helps with the most important thing. How you buy it, when you buy it, what moving averages, what pivot points, what oscillator, who cares? You can do whatever you want. But if you don't know how or why to be a buyer or how or why to be a seller, then it's hopeless. Because any idiot can trade a moving average crossover. But knowing whether you're a buyer or a seller is the question. That you need to be amazing at that, and not by guessing, but because you have data. And so in this recent opportunity, okay, there's this on that day or that price. On this day, it's this or that price. Today, it's still down there. Okay, so it's been long for 3 days. 3 days! You can't just be thinking about buying it now because now we're at resistance. So you had this as an opportunity. And if it fell the next day down to here, that would be your second opportunity. Now we're up there. There's more likely to be profit taking. Now we don't know if they're going to do that. Okay. Ideally, we maintain the trend. Okay. And you can see this is simple price action. So one would hope if you were buying this asset, or in this case, this company, okay, that it would come up, kick off the moving average, come up, kicking off the roll reversal, and go up. Or, because we don't know, okay, we don't know, at some point it kicks off the fixed support, and we slow off of the dynamic support. But if you're selling this, well, based on pattern recognition on this stock, it doesn't exist. Or in reverse, if you wanted to buy this but you were worried, well, you bought a dip on a roll reversal on a moving average on a daily chart. I think it was a daily. Yeah, on a daily chart. So it wasn't the dumbest idea in the world. Selling it is right out. Okay, so once again, you should be using TRADARS to help with the noise to action ratio. You need to trade the right thing at the right time for the right reason. And even though there's a bajillion currency pairs times 5 time frames. So let's go back to that. All right, how long does it take to analyze every currency pair on 5 time frames for the top 20 reliable repeatable pattern, including trending patterns and reversal patterns? How long does that take? I'm done. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We got 3 more pages. But it's still less than 7,500 charts, isn't it? So it's at most 60, but probably like 50. Now, how long does it take you to analyze these charts? This is down. That's down. That's up. You see? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Down with an opportunity, down with an opportunity, up with an opportunity. So what we're doing is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, right? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. If it's a bullish pattern, it's got strength. If it's a down arrow, it's a threat to that strength. Cool. Now you need to carry this further. What's your opinion? Should the yen pairs be going up or should the yen pairs be going down? Tell me what you guys think. Should yen pairs go up or should yen pairs go down? Based on your analysis. Well, really what we're talking about is bias. What do you think about the yen pairs? If your answer is, well, that depends what MACD says, you're not doing it right. No. This has to do with Japanese government bonds. I just showed you that. Is money moving to Japan or away from Japan? You know what we call that? Forex. You have to answer a very simple question. Is money going to Japan or away from Japan? Okay, so now you make your, right? So now you make your decision, and, okay. Let's, I'll pick one. Yen pairs are down. Okay. Is this good for that? Yes. Is that an opportunity? Yes. Is this good for that? No. Is this good for that? No. Is this good for that? No. Is that good? No. Is this good? Well, it's going in the right direction, but the next leg is up, so that's a threat. Is this good? Yes. Take a look at Aussie yen. If you wanted to short it, okay, then you're at resistance. Next leg is down. Done. So check that out. What about this? No, that's wrong direction. What about that? Yeah. So right now, Aussie's the only opportunity on those yens if you wanted to sell yens. Okay, CAD yen looks more up. Euro yen looks more up. Pound yen looks up, but with a threat to that, but that's not an opportunity to sell. This is up. Done. Aussie yen on 2 or 3 time frames if you want the yens to fall. See? Dude, shut the back door. You could literally do what used to take you, let's say, at least an hour to go through all your yen pairs on all time frames. It takes me less than 1 minute. It takes you 1 hour. But you might miss a lot of these patterns, like these, like this Gartley, this one here. Let me open it up. I would never have seen that. And if you don't know how to trade it, it's in the description below. Download the cheat sheet. Okay. Yeah, it could be great. But my point is, we may agree or disagree, and that'll always happen. Sometimes we will agree and sometimes we'll disagree on the direction of any currency pair. But if you have the data and you can quickly know what to focus on, quite literally which chart and what time frame, then every setup you take is still logical and intelligent. You might be wrong, but if the setup doesn't appear, you don't take the loss because you don't make the trade because there's no logical reason why to take the trade. You only had this assumption of up or down, but you can't sell an asset that you think is going to fall if it's pushing out bullish patterns. Why would you sell something pushing out bullish patterns? You'd say, well, not today, maybe tomorrow. And it saves you from losses as much as it helps you make money. But the biggest thing is, now you spend 90% of your, or probably even 95% of your day trading and not 90% of your time trying to figure things out, trying to figure out what to do. And that's where most people lose money is they don't know what to do. So today they're going to try to figure out what to do. And they become very inconsistent. Yeah. Cool. And so you can manipulate these anytime you want. So I'm going to turn off all the stocks and only put 10-year T-note. I'm going to turn off all the Forex and only put on euro dollar. So maybe I looked at our scorecard and euro dollar seems like the best opportunity. Well, I'm just setting this up for tomorrow's webinar. And it's so easy to filter. Right? Like crypto's on fire, right? Bitcoin is bullish, and you've known that for days. But check this out. We got more than Bitcoin. Okay, check it out. Boom, boom, boom. Ethereum, threat. Ethereum, threat. Ethereum, threat. Litecoin might be an opportunity. Oh, talk to me, Goose. Okay, let's say you're a bull on crypto. Why? Bitcoin just went from 110 to 120. Actually, even higher than 120. All right, so the question now is, will other crypto go up along with Bitcoin? Well, we have a fixed level of support. And that's all the arrow is saying. That the linear projection would indicate that's the fixed level of support now and in the future. The moving average is a dynamic level of support. So it saw this working quite a bit, and it's guessing that this will work quite a bit. So if you were trading this cryptocurrency, probably today you'll have an opportunity to consider buying around that price. And you would have an opportunity to maybe consider if it falls to that price. So we'll call it between 97 and 96. Might be a buy zone today on Litecoin. Oh, so now you go to Litecoin. Pull up Trader's Way. Okay, and now you're looking at things much different. Okay, that's daily. We're going to have to zoom in. And we had between 96 and 97. Okay. And you're going to try to ride this 21 north. If you're a bull, you have permission to engage. What time frame was that chart we were looking at? Litecoin, buy a dip on the hourly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I would refine this. If I were me, I would then start adjusting, doing my technical analysis. So up until now, we didn't actually do technical analysis. We only did price recognition. So in this case, I ride the 21. You guys know me, and that's what I try to do. Okay, the next one would be way down here, but that ain't going to happen now. I could buy a Fibonacci retracement, right? So I don't waste time drawing Fibonacci's. I do it automatically because I'm a boss. So anywhere around here is reasonable, but really I want to kick it off there. Now maybe we can also we can go insert indicators, custom, biased pivots. We want to be bullish today. Oh, very similar, same. And today's target is up here. Tomorrow's target's there. Now, if we make a higher high, then these will adjust. But here's my plan. If I was a day trader looking to trade Litecoin north following Bitcoin, this was my buy zone. Okay, this was my dynamic moving average entry. Down here is probably a representative of the trend that we had in place. So what I could do is, and I'm done. So now I did technical analysis. Don Pablo says BOJ will hold rates in June. How do you know that? Okay. Somewhere between October and December. The Bank of Japan will raise rates. And they'll hold it steady all the way to summer. Right? Now, how do we get this information? This comes from the Bank of Japan. Okay. So wait, wait. Let me double check that I did this correctly. Fourth quarter is October, November, December. Sorry. Somewhere between now and October, there's going to be a rate hike. Okay. So is it going to be July, as Don Pablo said? Maybe, but probably not. What about September? Yes. So we would assume, not this BOJ meeting, but the next one, the Bank of Japan raises interest rates up to up from 0.5 to 0.75, so 25 basis points. And then they're going to hold all the way to the April, May, June period. So I would guess June. Yeah. Okay. New Zealand, yesterday I read their interest rate decision. We actually downloaded, read the report, and they told us something about future interest rate cuts. They even told us if they're likely to cut or not, why they're likely to cut or not, and when. 99% of retail traders will not have read that. So we read that yesterday. I'm trying to develop a podcast. Yeah, I'm trying to develop a podcast. I'm still playing around with the format and all that kind of stuff. But we did this yesterday at traders.com. Yes, yesterday was a Sunday. But we went over the RBA monetary policy statement. We went over the RBNZ monetary policy statement. We went over the FOMC meeting minutes. These are long reports to read. The Reserve Bank of Australia's economic analysis, New Zealand's central bank economic analysis of not just their economy, but the global economy. Then we did the FOMC meeting minutes. We went through the 2-day meeting and we got the staff projections, as well as the conversations by the members of the FOMC, not just the vote. And then we looked at the disaster going on in Canada. Yeah, but like, dude, I believe you need to be doing this type of analysis. So anyways, right now I'm playing around with the idea of calling it, instead of Week on the Street, Macro Money. And you'll be able to sign up for the podcast on TRADARS.com. And the interesting thing about that is I'll take this PowerPoint, okay, that has like the calendar this week, and then the review of last week's economic data with links to all the actual reports, and then a review of the COT. So this is the capital flows week over week. Look at money went into Swiss franc and came out of everything else. And 30% of you don't know any of this, and 66% of you do know. Well, I wouldn't want to be the one that doesn't know. And so anyways, look how pretty that is, right? And here it is all in writing. So Swiss net longs increased by 3.01%, showing renewed confidence in the safe haven currency. Net Japanese yen, net shorts expanded. What does this mean? Week over week, institutional investors were selling the Japanese yen and got more short. So does that mean yen pairs up or yen pairs down? Well, I gave you that process. I asked you, some of you guys said up, some of you guys said down. Shouldn't you just know? And shouldn't you just be trading along with institutional investors? I don't know. This is for you to decide. Is this good information? Should you know, should you be trading against institutional investors, or should you be trading with institutional investors? So anyway, so imagine you had this as a download. So you can listen to the podcast over the weekend while you're doing yard work and you're deadheading your rosebuds, and you're listening to macroeconomic analysis. Isn't that cool? So I'm playing around with the format, and I don't know if it's going to be called this, and the format might change and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I'm trying to keep it fresh, keep it real. Right? So anywho, that just happened. So welcome to Forex.Today. Make sure you subscribe, like, and please leave a comment on the recording. Also, there are lots of links in the description below that'll take you to free resources like training and downloads. And also, I'm going to spend the next hour creating chapters so that when you watch the recordings of our live streams, that you'll have hot lists where you can just jump from, if you just only care about Bitcoin, you can just jump to Bitcoin, watch that. So I'll spend some time and I'll do that for you because I love you. You're my sweet baby. Peace on earth. May the pips be with